All right, welcome today. I'm going to show you how to get started on MasterCAM. I'm going to hope that you have the software loaded up, and we're going to mill a plaque to do a little practicing. First thing I'd like you to notice is down here in the corner that we're currently in metric, and I want to make sure I change that. So we want to get into inches, so going over to File, down here to the word Configuration, and then you're going to see down in this area that it's currently in metric. I'm going to switch it to inches and then checkbox it. And I'm going to look down here in the corner to make sure I'm in inches so that I'm not wasting my time. Next thing I'm going to do is bring in my file. I'm going to work on that practice plaque. So File and Open. And I'm going to get it from the computer. And pretty sure I got it in here. And there's lesson from MasterCAM right here. Now, right now, I have to make sure that I change this because it's only opening MasterCAM files, and I want to make sure that I pick AutoCAD files. And there's my AutoCAD file called lesson from MasterCAM. So I'm going to grab that guy. You can see it's an AutoCAD. Okay. And I'm going to open it up. And here it comes. So I'm looking good. Got my part. And now I'm going to create my machine. I'm milling, so I'm going to go mill, and then I'm going to hit the little arrow down, and I'm going to pick the default guy on top. And then I'm going to open this dialog box right here, this properties dialog box. You never touch files, not until you're at school and you want to post up, and Mr. Dusky can probably help you with that. But I am going to go to Tool Settings. And here I'm going to assign tools sequentially, and I'm also going to change the material to the right material by going to the milling library and finding wood at the bottom. Checkbox. It's all looking good. Did that. Did that. Now I'm going to go to Stock Setup, and I'm going to say to display the stock setup. I'm also going to take 000, which is indicated as the center of the plaque right now. I'm going to move it here to this corner, lower left, as where all your drawings should be. And then next I'm going to put in the size of the plaque. So 10 for Y, 10 inches, 14 inches for X, and 1 inch for Z. Perfect. And I'm going to checkbox that, and you'll notice a red line around your guy. All right, I'm actually ready to go. I'm going to do what's called a pocket first. That's going to scoop out all the wood in here between the letters C, A, and R and the star. So you'll see it's not in the list. So I'm going to go to the drop-down bar, and there's pocket right there. I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to select this border here. And then I'm going to select all of these objects because I want to mill out in between them. So that's going to mill out all the wood in here, scooped out in here. I don't worry about what direction the arrows are for pockets. It doesn't make any difference. And then come down here to the bottom, check box it. And then I'm going to go to the tool list. There's nothing in the tool list currently. We're just going to work with end mills to start, and I'm going to give them their proper numbers. So for us at school, the 1/2 inch tool is right here. It's tool number 1. Go back to the library. By the way, I should tell you that there is a filter here. So you can go here because when you fire that up, they might all be selected. You can all turn them to none, so none of them are selected. And then this is the only one we want to work with right off the hop, end mills. So I'm going to select it, checkbox it. And I'm going to come back here, and this is tool 2, 1/4 inch, half the diameter of 1/2 inch. Oh, there we go, tool 2. I'm going to go to library again, 3/16, halfway between 1/4 and 1/8 is tool 3, and then 1/8 inch is tool 4. We do have a tool 5. We'll talk about it later. It's an engraving tool. So great, I have that all done. I can actually select the correct one, which is tool 1, 1/2 inch, because this is a big space. And then for the 1/2 inch tool, we're always going to use 60 inches. It's a big tool. It can run really fast. It won't break at fast speed. We also want to make sure that we have different speeds for each tool because when we do our foam mock-up, We want that to be done as fast as possible. We will have to change these feed rates for the other tools when we get into wood, or they would break. So I'll talk about that later. All right, great. I'm going to slide down here to the word cut parameters. You'll notice down here that some material is being left on the sides and the walls. We're not doing that. 0 and 0. We're just making a plaque out of wood. We're not doing any machining out of metal, so it's not really required. We come here to the word roughing. We pick the zigzag pattern, and entry motion we turn off. We're going to come down here to finishing. We leave that on, but we turn lead in, lead out off. Great. And the last thing that we do down here is put the depth that we want to mill at. So linking parameters, and right here we go minus 0.25, so down 1/4 of an inch, which is the maximum that you can mill depth-wise into your plaque. Checkbox. Great, I have my tool paths done, and I'm going to end up looking at this virtually, make sure it's going well. So I'm going to select all. I do this every time. I'm going to regen paths. I do this every time, and then I'm going to slide over here to the word verify so I can see my 3D plaque. And there it is. And I'm going to right click and go isometric, and then I'm going to play it. Great. And you can see over here in this corner that I didn't quite get that milled out. That's because the distance between here and here, which is less than 1/2 inch. So this tool 1/2 inch wouldn't fit in there, so it doesn't try and do it in a pocket. Great. That worked out well. Close her down. And I want to change this view back to the top view. Great. And my next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up all these areas around here, because this tool is a big tool and it doesn't provide as much detail as I'd like. So I'm going to contour that, and I'm also going to get rid of that spot up here that didn't get milled out. I'm going to contour with the 1/4 inch tool. So I'm going to slide up here to machine. Oops, toolpath. And then go down here and pick contour. Contouring is where you go around on stuff. So I don't like all these wavy lines here, so I'm actually going to close this back down. I should have shown you that. No, I don't want to keep this operation. This is right here. So these lines are the toolpath lines. I'd like to get rid of them, so I'm going to click there. Oh, so okay. I have to select this, and then I can do it. Great. Now they're gone. It's still easier to see my screen. All right. I'm going to go back to contour, and I'm going to click here for this one. That's because this is the center of the line, and if I want the arrow to go counterclockwise, which makes the tool run on the inside of the line, then this is where I'm going to click. So there it is, counterclockwise, and I want it to go on the outside of these guys, so that's clockwise. There's a line, there's the center, I go to the bottom, it's clockwise. There's a line, there's the center, there's the bottom part, going to be clockwise. Same here, and same here. So this way the tool is going to go around the outside of all of these. And I didn't get any red lines, like red arrows, so I know that my toolpath is a nice single toolpath. If you have lines on top of lines, you'll get a red mark, like a red arrow, and you want to go back to CAD and delete the extra lines, or you may have a gap, or you may not have trimmed properly. So, all right, this is done and looking good. So checkbox. I'm going to go here to Tool. I'm going to pick the 1/4 inch tool. Going to come to cut parameters and just make sure that the computer's on, and then go to lead in, lead out, and turn it off. And lastly, we'll put the depth in, which is minus 1/4 inch. Remember, I just did this to clean things up, so checkbox. Great, and I can verify this guy. So I want to select all my toolpaths, right? So select all. Here we are, and then regen them just in case, and then them. And again, symmetric and play. Looking good. If I do roll in here, you will see that I still have a little gap here, so I definitely want to make sure that I get rid of that. I'm going to go around one more time with the 1/8 inch tool. So close this down. and go back to view, top. Now, again, I want to do the exact same tool path, but I want to make it a smaller tool. So I can actually just take this tool path. See how it just has a green arrow by itself now? And I can actually right click and copy that. And then if I just come down here, I can right click and paste it. Now, it's a repeat of this one, so they are exactly the same, but I can change it. So I just come here to the word parameters. And remember all the things I could change here. One of them was tool. So I go to the tool, and actually I would like to run this guy at 1/8 of an inch. And I did forget to tell you to make sure to put the right speed. So 1/8 of an inch, it's 60, 59, 58, 57. So we'll actually have to fix this one because I should have made the speed 59 here. So this is actually 57. So 57, and that's inches per minute. And this guy is 10, and this guy is 60. And then you can actually write in here what you're doing. So I'm going to say like around all items. You could say down 0.25 inches with, quarter-inch tool. It's up to you. Sometimes it's helpful to stay organized. Okay, great. That looks really good. I already know that the linking parameters is right. So he's already at it at quarter because it kept it from the previous toolpath. So I just checkbox it. And now you'll notice because I changed this guy, I changed it. I went into the word parameters that there's a big fat red X here. So I actually have to regenerate this path. And I like to just select them all and regenerate them all. And now you'll see the toolpath there. Great. I also know I made the mistake here of the wrong speed, so I'm going to fix that now before it's too late. So parameters. And if you'll notice up here, when I go to the word tool, the quarter-inch is picked. There it is. It's tool number 2, but I forgot to make this 59. And again, that's important because later we want to be able to quickly change to the right speeds for wood after we do our foam mock-up. All right, and here I would write, blah, 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 blah. So, okay, great, checkbox. You'll notice that is done and looking good. If I want to get rid of these toolpaths now, I can do that. But I want to virtually check it first. So select all. And then verify. And right click, isometric, and play. Great. Look, I got a little bit more detail in there. Right? So cool. All right. I am done with that. Close that down. Go back to my view, which is the top. And now I would like to get rid of these wavy lines. So I'm going to get rid of that. So checkbox and checkbox. There. Now they're all off. Next thing I would like to do is I would like to take this area in here and mill it out. So, between the big star and the little star. So here I go. I'm going to go, that's a pocket, by the way. So I'm going to go back to toolpaths and pocket. And I'm going to identify where I want to go. So it's between here and here. And remember, the arrows don't mean anything. So that means it's going to scoop out all the wood in here. I don't think a 1/2 inch tool is going to fit in here. Anyway, I'm going to checkbox that. And then I'm going to come over here to the word tool. I'm going to pick the 1/4 inch. Cut parameters, all good. Roughing, zigzag still picked. All of this stuff should just stay the same. And the only thing I got to do is put the right depth in. So I'm going to do this at minus 0.125. So half the distance down. Checkbox. There it is, milled out. I'm going to virtually check it. I like to do this every time. So I'm going to regen the paths just in case I made a mistake somewhere and there was a big fat red X. And then I'm going to verify. Right click isometric. And then I'm going to play. Looks good. Now you can see right here that I have these little end things. I'm going to get rid of those right now.